Yo, it's another video on the main account, and today we're gonna be looking at specifically the new Kaneki. And yeah, I'm just gonna be discussing like what teams are good with him, the ones that have been discovered so far, and yeah. So my overall opinion on him is that he's completely broken, for Anteiku at least. He's way too overpowered. But he needs disruption immunity. So if you really want to play him in Anteiku and you're an Anteiku player, you kind of have to just SSS him. It's good anyways, but the disruption immunity is really important. But the other stats are also just really good on him. But the disruption immunity is like very, very important. Without it, he's a bit. Well, he's still good. It's just when he's disrupted turn 1, he kind of just does nothing. Um, because what he does is, like, what you will notice when you play him is if the enemy has a shield, he just completely annihilates the shield, ignores the enemy's defense, does way too much damage, and then does additional damage at the end. Which, since it's like additional damage, it also bypasses like block. For example, Noro's block, after taking 35% health damage, will trigger, but then he will still get some extra damage from this, which is nice. And well, his abilities and stuff are all extremely OP. His refinements are pretty decent. I mean, they're not incredibly OP, but they're good, and it's worth SSSing him in my opinion. Now, for Anteiku, yes, he's completely broken. For Aogiri, I don't believe so. So, for Aogiri, it's a bit complicated because it's unsure who he would even replace in the first place. And in the current tanky meta, Aogiri kinda just has to play the triple backup tanky lineup and can't really take out anyone for the Kaneki. Kaneki is a way too like offensive unit for current Aogiri. Anteiku doesn't really care about that because Anteiku already has enough tankiness. I mean, we're already playing double tanky backup here. I'm playing an additional backup. However, the best team is a different one, and that's what I'm gonna get into now. So, the best team in the game currently is what I believe is this one. If you have the Teenage Hinami cell, it's a huge difference maker. If you have the cell, this team is completely overpowered. In AI versus AI, RTA doesn't matter. It will win against everything. It's just too unfair. It has infinite heals, but you simply need like the Tinami cell. Triple S Kaneki is also kinda important, and well, you kinda do want the Triple S Arima actually as well for the refinement buffs. So everything kinda just comes together and makes the team completely immortal. Which, yeah, it's a bit funny. It's very unfair. However, for example, I got scammed by the game, which is why I don't have the Hinami cell, but I got the Sen cell instead. So what I play is, for me, the second best Anteiku team, and it's this one right here. It's still very solid, it's just less on the defensive side. But what I've noticed in RTA is that this team still kind of wins against everything. Well, my team is a bad example because I don't have Triple S Kaneki and Natsutoka, but if this team is capped, it will win against Aogiri as well in most cases. Especially since with the Kaneki trigger, if you focus Noro and have 2 Kaneki cards, plus the Kaneki trigger, plus her trigger, Noro will just die turn 1. You just have to use the Kaneki cards early to just ignore the defense and the shield, and he will die. It's just that unfair. And usually people run like revive cells or like the attribute ignore thingy. If they run the restriction ignore stuff, he just dies. If they run revive cells, he just gets revived, loses all of his buffs. And since they are running revive cells, they don't have any star ups, which means that they don't have tier 3 actives to burst your team. And this team is like very tanky still. So they just can't kill you. And you will just kill them in the second turn, which is very unfair. So this finally gives Natsutoka some more credit because she will always trigger her, trigger in the first turn if you do it correctly, which is very nice. However, this team loses incredibly hard versus the Hinami variant, versus this one. In a video that should have come online yesterday, I was playing the Hinami variant on Kapi's account, and I beat Rayluf, who was playing this variant, and Rayluf had a substantial CP advantage, and you basically saw that he was close to killing my Kaneki, or it was Anniversary Token, one of the two, but it doesn't matter. You just keep healing, and then turn 3, you're just full HP again with tier 2 and tier 3 actives. So it doesn't even matter. You just completely annihilate them. And it's the exact same in AI versus AI. The team just never dies and the enemy can't really do anything. And once it goes into overtime, you will be healing an incredible amount every turn. And then the AI will also be picking Hinami cards to keep healing you. Hinami can't get disrupted with the new cell. It's completely overpowered. So yeah, this team is like S tier, and this team with the Hinami cell is like god tier. Like everything else is below it currently, in my opinion. Yes, the meta Aogiri team, like the triple backup one, it's probably roughly equal. I'm not entirely sure, but I'm guessing it kind of depends on who has more CP. Although I can imagine that this Hinami team can also win when it has less CP. But I haven't tested it enough. Now for Aogiri, it's a bit difficult, right? Because Aogiri is currently running these special teams that I can't really show myself, because well, my units are incredibly trash. But like a team like this, for example, where you have 3 backups in your team, and then you have Noro and Easter Idol as your damage dealers. Now what most Aogiri people run is star up cells on the Easter Idol, so that if they go second and the enemy decides to kill Easter Idol, Noro will just use tier 3 actives to sweep like the entire board. That strategy just doesn't work anymore, because now they can actually kill Noro turn 1. Which makes it a lot harder. And now, if you wanted to swap the new Kaneki into this team, you kind of have to think, like, who do I even take out for Kaneki? Because if I take out Easter Idol, we lose Detonate. We can't be losing Detonate. It's too important, especially now that he's getting his new cell. If we take out Noro, well, the enemy is just gonna kill Easter Idol turn 1, and you aren't gonna win against Anteiku with only single target damage from the new Kaneki. It's just not gonna happen. If you take out Naki, you're getting rid of so many good passives. Exact same for Masked Kaneki. So Masked Kaneki with his cell is so important for the tankiness of the team. If you take him out, the team is just gonna be way too squishy and it just won't work either. And the exact same also counts for the blue Arima in the backup. It's like every character in this team kinda just has to be there, and there isn't really a chance to swap Kaneki into it. Now, it doesn't mean that the team is bad. It will still win against every CCG practically, because CCG is just that trash, and it will win versus badly built Anteikus and, well, other worse built Aogiris. However, if we are talking endgame meta and a capped versus, well, nearly capped versus nearly capped scenario, it's just not gonna be great. It just doesn't fit in there. It just isn't the best option. So for Aogiri, I think Ken doesn't make it into the team. For Anteiku, 100%. And yeah, in my opinion, that's the current meta. It will change a lot soon, so the carnival is ending today in 13 hours. So in 1 week, we will be having the Hide carnival, which will be very interesting to see. It will change things up quite a bit. And yeah, the meta might shift quite a lot from it. We will see. It's very hard to predict what exactly will happen. But yeah. And now future goals for my own account will be... it's very straightforward. So I'm gonna triple S Kaneki. Then I'm going to get Hinami Cell. I'm gonna triple S Blue Arima. And then if I still have additional resources, I might finally finish triple S'ing the Blue Hinami, just to get the full Aura team. But priority for me is gonna be Kaneki, Arima, and Hinami, with the Hinami cell being top priority basically, even over the triple S Kaneki. It's just way too important, because even if Kaneki gets disrupted turn 1, as long as you have the Hinami cell, you can even just stall to the 3rd turn. The enemy is not gonna kill you anyways, and then you can start using Kaneki actives to just completely one-shot the enemy team, which is very fun. Now, some of you might be wondering what teams I use for boss fights, so I don't actually have the optimal team, I'm just using what I have. I'm currently using this team right here. I can showcase it, it's not the best, and someone in my server did get a way higher score. However, his Kaneki is at A, and mine is only at C. And this is like the shittiest start we could have possibly gotten, but maybe it gets better. And I just want to showcase the damage that he does anyways. So maybe we get some good cards and some good hits. So yeah, that was already 14 million right there, plus a 4.3 million trigger. Okay, we have one card. That's a bit depressing, but what can you do? Maybe I'll use a Sen active just to see if we can get more Kaneki cards. That's 20 million. And that's 26 million and an 8 million trigger. As you can see, it's a complete joke. Okay, that's pretty big. But sadly, it's just gonna remain level 2 cards and then a trigger for an additional ton of damage. So that's 1.5, that's a new record, or 1.6 actually. That's very solid. If it was tier 3 Kaneki cards, we would have probably gotten like 2 million actually. But yeah, that's a team that I'm using. I think it's very strong, but it's probably not the best. Yeah, just in case you were wondering. And that's basically it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys in the next one.